we don't have a very good angle this time.
Let's see. Seemed to me it was up higher last time.
Maybe I had it up here.
No, you had it on that thing, but was that?
Well, maybe I had it on books or something. I don't know.
Possibly.
I'm not going to worry about it right now.
No. Yeah, maybe you had it on that.
No.
Those books in your hand.
Okay. Hi, we're futzing. Futz.
Hi guys.
Anybody there? We're going to start talking soon.
You're used to this.
Used
Bear
to our
with us.
professionalism.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not going to barely use the altar in there. It's going to be on a slant.
What the heck, David?
Like I know what I'm doing. I'm not open to criticism, not because.
I'm not criticizing. I just like, I don't know. There
we are.
It seems different. It seems weird, different. I don't know.
We're going to try this way today.
It's more of the weird world that we're in. Everything's weird and different once again.
Ta-da! It looks normal to me.
Okay. Maybe it is normal. Maybe it's just me.
Well, what's normal about the whole situation? There is no normal anymore.
This is the new normal.
Well, we're finding out what
Weirdness is the new normal.
Weirdness is the new normal.
That's right. You've heard it here first, folks. Weirdness is the new normal. Don't forget that. Look, I even know where my glasses are.
That's pretty weird.
That's pretty weird. And there's Casey.
You got a bookmark on by your feet.
Yes, I know. That's from my wang.
Pardon me. Look, I found the Empress right away in this deck, so there.
Oh,
it shows
well.
to go, yeah.
It's a sign.
The Hermetic Tarot. Daughter of the Mighty Ones.
Yes.
That's her title. Daughter of the Mighty Ones.
The Empress.
We'll also grab the rest of these cards and start with that.
Sure. Since we're switching things up a little bit tonight.
There's a switcheroo.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And
others.
Thank you. I can learn. So here's a nice one. This is my Tarot of the Old Path and a very classic Empress image where she's obviously pregnant and wildlife because she's can also be seen as Mother Nature, Gaia, Demeter, and various other queens of heaven.
Yes.
Usually the Freya would be
Diana.
Well, I mean in the Nordic.
In the Nordic?
Yeah, who's Odin's partner?
Frigg.
Frigg would be. I'm sure it would be like the lead guy's partner often. So like
Hera.
Zeus and Hera. Yeah. There's that one. Another, I don't know if you can see it, discern it, but there's a shield with the big Venus symbol. So it is she is associated with Venus. Of course, the Empress in the Crowley deck, Thoth deck. The pelican is an interesting symbol.
Yes.
And because often the pelican is associated with the goddess and associated with the idea of sacrifice. And that's because in old-fashioned Aristotelian science, they figured the pelicans, when they observed the baby pelicans eating the mashed up fish out of the mother's beak pouch, they didn't understand what was going on, and they thought it looked like that the pelican was feeding its young from its own blood,
Breast. Yes.
or blood from its breast. And hence the idea of the pelican sacrificing itself or giving of its blood, its very essence, to its children. Of course, they since found out that that's its pouch where it's carrying the fish. Here's the classic, very close to the classic image with
the Fenestra deck.
Fenestra. Interesting, I couldn't quite figure it out, but in the little white book, it describes that is like a waterfall behind her. So we're going to see this idea of water that started in the High Priestess card, where her robes sort of becoming water. And now we have in the next ones, we have the water and often in the background. The Initiatory Golden Dawn deck. The classic kind of Empress image here. What's special? Well, she's got a dove, it looks like.
Yeah.
And a mace for kind of power, the Empress power, and a crown, but also the big Ankh, sort of the Egyptian symbol in her hand for life, and Venus as well. The Crystal Tarot,
which is a new one to us.
Which is a new one to us, and it's really lovely. But there's not really, I guess we do have a sense of a wooded area, and there's birch trees or something in the background.
Let's see what it says.
We have
fertility.
Fertility, okay.
It says, she is feminine love, the material go-between through which every spiritual form is created.
Every spiritual form is created. Yeah. Or destroyed, because it's fun in the My Spirit Halloween deck. The Empress is Kali. Kind of the opposite there. Of course, Kali is by being the destroyer, she is also the regenerator, or about renewal. But I think they're just having fun with that.
Birth and life.
And I didn't dig out. I gotta take the moment, I guess, to get the good old Rider-Waite out somewhere. Okay, where is she? Where's Mama? Queen of Heaven, Empress, number 3.
I'm not sure, is that the one that I posted?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we are. Again, the waterfall in the background, the classic image, the Venus symbol. Queen of Heaven, you can tell by her starry crown. And classic image there. So that's our idea. Diana. Demeter. Queen of Heaven. Of course, the on the Tree of Life, the Emperor's Path. So what we've covered all the spheres. Only Yesod is unavailable online because the sound didn't work and we haven't redone it. But we've covered all the spheres, and now we're going down with the paths, and we've covered the Fool and the Fool and the Magician. And then, of course, so 0, 1, 2 in the tarot, 3 now in the tarot. So the Empress connects Hokmah, Chokmah, and Binah. And as you may recall, those 3, the top 3, are above the abyss. So the whole path is eternal in the eternals, above the abyss. I'll bring up our little experiment tonight, where Daleth and I are going to do something a little different. And this is the idea that in many circles, in like a Wiccan circle, in most kind of witchcraft circles, in other styles of magic where you have a circle and quarters, what we have is, and what we've been traditionally doing is east, air in the east, fire in the south, water in the west, earth in the north. And that's the idea of how it is here on Earth. And it especially works well for us here in the Northern Hemisphere, because of course the dawn, the beginning in the east, let's call that air, the beginning, the logos, the word, the first vibration in the east, the start of every day in the east. The south, of course, in the Northern Hemisphere, we have the south, it's hotter, the deserts and stuff in the south. The west, well, out here in the west coast, the water is in the west, so that works for us. And then the sunset, the water element, and then the night, the north, of course, it works here. Darkness, the more north you get in the winter, the more dark. The frozen rocks and ice kind of works well for north, earth. So that's the idea. That's our circle, and the quarters in the circle, traditionally, and that what we have been using every night, every meditation, every temple. This time, we're going to do an experiment, and the idea is that we're so high up here, we're on a path that does not cross the abyss. We're in a path that is up high in, whether you want to kind of cover it in the above as in the below, even though these are not necessarily high in the sky, but that's the imagery, the metaphor is above.
In the cosmos.
In the cosmos, thank you. We're going up into the cosmos. So we're going to switch it up. And the idea is when you're way up here, that we're going to have fire in the east. Put it like that. Fire in the east, air in opposite in the west. To the facing east, to the right hand, north, as this path from Chokmah to Hesed is the Hierophant, associated with Taurus and Earth, and water in the north. And this path is between Binah and Mars is the Chariot, associated with the sign Cancer. So what we have, we're kind of just switching those around. So tonight we have the lion and fire in the east, the eagle and, the air, and the angel in the west, earth and the bull in the south, and water and the eagle in the north. So we're just going to switch those up because we're out in the cosmos, and we're going to see how that works for us in our meditation. All right, I'm saying.
Woo.
Woohoo.
I'm thrilled.
Okay, hopefully it will be, and even more so. So, the path of Daleth, the Empress, the third key, third major arcana in the tarot, number 3. Path color, emerald green. Related sound, F sharp.
Oh,
thanks.
I can do an F sharp. I have it cued and ready to go.
F sharp. We do that before we start meditating too. Thank you. F sharp, planet Venus, and I do have, I will be hopefully remembering to do the Unicursal Hexagram for Venus and invoking the Venus energies tonight. Meaning of the word, so it's associated with the Hebrew letter Daleth, or a D sound, Daleth. And the word itself means a door. It is a double letter for wisdom and folly. Its esoteric title, the daughter of the mighty ones. Its meaning is a door, but the letter itself, see if I can get this on there. There we are. The letter itself here in that little box, so that's where the path is on the tree of life, right across at the top. That letter there, meaning door, and Venus. But it's interesting that the door it can be translated as a gate. A door, a gate, and the letter itself could be construed to be like a tent flap, the entrance to a tent. I know in the tarot deck I'm creating, the idea that this is a tent flap on one of those, a magic Arabian tent, because what it is it's on this level of where you go through the door, and it's like those magical Arabian tent where it's huge inside and you step outside and, well, where'd all the space come from? It's like the TARDIS. It's like the TARDIS, really. Thank you. So the idea here is it's sort of the doorway to the supernal world, the doorway to so much. It's the doorway to what's next. It's the doorway to what is yet to be achieved. It's the doorway to kind of imagination as well. So it has a lot to do with this type of meditation and connecting to, wisdom, the daughter of the mighty ones, as our go-between between the great mother idea and nature. So obviously nature is also our kind of doorway to spiritual energy. That nature gives us that perspective. And of course, any witch will tell you that, I don't need a church. I got nature.
Yeah.
So that's what this is about here, and that's sort of our doorway to the bigger universe. I want to read this, the 32, and I'll repeat this when we actually start the temple. But I always like to read these. The 32 paths of wisdom, Sefer Yetzirah says, the 14th path is the illuminating intelligence. And it is so called because it is that brilliant one, which is the founder of the concealed and fundamental ideas of holiness and of their stages of preparation. And that's boggling, isn't it?
So that's pregnancy.
Stages of preparation, pregnancy. Good thinking. And concealed, fundamental ideas of holiness, and it's concealed, and it's stages of preparation. There's a lot to do with
being
pregnant.
Yeah.
So creation and procreation is a big part of creation. So let's see, I'll just do a little paraphrasing here. The path of the Empress connects Binah and Chokmah, the mediating path of the supreme spiritual self, the path of unity of the Father and Mother, the divine Father and Mother, what in traditional Wicca is termed the Lord and the Lady. But the divine God, the divine Goddess idea. The path in which their interaction occurs. In this regard, she is called the daughter of the mighty ones. Out of Chokmah, which is the divine male, has the potential to emanate the pure female. So Binah, the divine female, has the potential for the creation of everything, all life forms, all matter, all material, the whole material universe. Often depicted as pregnant, the stage of incubation and passivity. Although if you ever cross a pregnant woman, I don't think you shouldn't be using the passivity word.
Yes,
No.
anything but passive.
Empress is the universal womb in which all manifestation is gestated, the transitional state of energy between above and below, which has been called the gate of heaven. So interesting here, it's about a place, if you will, where manifestation begins to take form.
Yes.
Which is sometimes, I think, why it's associated with other deities that are involved in creation, and like, for some reason it calls to mind the kind of arachnid, kind of spider divine kind of deity, which is weaving the web.
Right.
And of course, in the Crowley High Priestess card, we see that web of, that she's laying out. So she's sort of providing the palette, the canvas for what is then created by the mother. Arachnia.
This book also speaks of the Egyptian goddess Mut, who is symbolic of this in some pictures. Her name means mother. Mut means mother, and she is said to have given birth to all that exists.
There we are.
So, yeah.
Mut.
Saket Bastra.
All right. Associated with Venus and Netzach, the most dense expression of the pure Venus energy is the seventh sphere. The great mother of ideas, Mother Nature. Every culture has Earth Mother, Mother of the gods. Okay. So it's as though that's the High Priestess as a maiden, and the Empress as impregnated, or no longer a maiden. The spirit of life on earth. Important to remember this repeated, the illuminating intelligence, the luminous intelligence. Path of Chokmah is called the illuminating intelligence. Daleth coming out of Chokmah is the luminous intelligence, as though this illumination is sent down this path, filled with light, as well as emitting light. Empress is called the Mother of Light. To pass through her on the path of return is to enter into the supreme darkness, which is Binah, that she's connected to. And can pass through the door in either direction.
This path is the door to life.
The door to life. Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Shall we?
If you like.
I'll close that. And I have this lovely little incense we found, no idea, I guess it might be from that place in California. I don't know where we got these. Traditional. And
I think actually Shelley gave us that for some reason, I don't know.
And it says Queen of Heaven. Queen of Heaven incense. So we're going to try a little teeny bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
As we begin.
Yes.
Okay.
As we begin.
Dedicate this temple to the goddess and the god.
And the water represented, it says on the card, as the flow of life. I like that.
Okay. So we'll leave the light on for this part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just push that over there for now. And then, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Te Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leola Amen. Hecus Hecus Estebebeloi. Begin with the rose cross circle. Leave it open or else you'll be complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
Begin our sphere or circle. Yaheshua. 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 Back. Yaheshua. Yod Hey Shin Vov Hey. Ayin Arai Yod Nun Resh Yod, sign of Osiris slain. El, the sign of the morning Vices. V, the sign of Typhon Apophis. X, the sign of Osiris risen. L, V, X, Lux, light, light of the cross. Virgo, Isis, mighty mother. Scorpio, Apophis, destroyer. Soul, Osiris, slain yet risen. Isis, Apophis, Osiris. Exarpe hokoema nanta bioteoem, the divine light descend. Eheye yorivahi Elohim yorivahi levadat shaddai el adoneha aretz, the divine light descend. Ate malkuth vegabora vegadula leova am. Amen. So, I'm up for the quarters. We're going to do our experiment. Fire in the east. Ba-i-te-o-em, he-he-ye. Oi teia pedoke, Elohim, Elohim. Hail, Michael, Archangel of Fire, today in the east.
Alrighty. Thank you. Okay. In the north. Nanta Agala Imordial Hectega Adonai. Hail Uriel, Archangel of the North and Earth.
In the south today.
In the south today. Chilling in the south.
Like Santa on vacation. Sorry. Pardon me. Exarpe Oro Ibae Ozodpi Jehovah. Hail Raphael, Archangel of Air, today in the west. Hail Raphael.
Okay. Wow. West in the north. Hakoma Agala Empear Salgeol Al. Hail Gabriel, Archangel of the West and Water in the north.
Make sure I get this right now by thinking about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Before me, Michael. Behind me, Raphael. To the right hand, Uriel. To the left hand, Gabriel. About us flames the pentagram, and in the column shines the six-rayed star, Te, Malkuth, Vekabora, Vekadula, Leolam. Amen. As above, so below. This evening, we are traversing the 14th path of Daleth the Empress, the third tarot key, path color, emerald green. Related sound,
F sharp.
F sharp. All right. Associated with the planet Venus, the door or gate, or tent flap, double letter for wisdom or folly, wisdom/folly. Esoteric title, the daughter of the mighty ones. Oh, forgot to put our tarot with the cards on there. Daughter of the mighty ones. The 14th path is the illuminating intelligence, and is so called because it is that brilliant one, which is the founder of the concealed and fundamental ideas of holiness and of their stages of preparation. To that end, also in the east, which is associated with fire today, which works for Netzach, in the green, the green candle, we'll do an invoking unicursal hexagram of Venus. Okay, get this right. Ararita. That worked. God name is Jehovah Tzabaoth. Jehovah Tzabaoth. Archangel Haniel. Haniel. The Elohim. The Elohim. Venus. Yod. Alalita. Venus. You want the window open a little bit?
Or just open the door. Open the door.
Get a breeze.
Get some air. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. We'll just hope. They forgot to unplug the phone outside.
Well, if we get bells from heaven, whatever. That's
Okay.
Want me to unplug it?
Huh?
I'll go and unplug
All
it.
right, all right.
Pardon us.
Well,
We've
stretch
got to
that.
unplug the
Stretch that circle. Stretch. Amoeba circle.
It's amoeba shaped now. Not that anyone phones us, but you never know.
Yeah.
This is when they would.
All right, so let's start by sitting up straight and proper.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing deep. Establish the 4 square breath, which is breathing in deeply with the diaphragm, tummy out to a count, your own personal count of 4, pausing for the count of 4, breathing out slowly for the count of 4, pausing for the count of 4. So please think of this when you get distracted in meditation, kind of return to the pattern of 4 square breathing. Get that going. Relax, 4 square breath. Atop the head, imagine an orb of white, pure white, active white light. This is source energy, light before polarity, light in extension to us there atop the head, crown chakra. Its God name is Aheye, Aheye. Bring the light energy down to form a lavender orb of light in the throat area, in the body in the throat area. It's the light in extension to us. It is how our consciousness reaches upward to ascend for greater awareness. Its God name is Jehovah Elohim.
Jehovah Elohim.
Jehovah lavender orb of light.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim. Bring the light energy down to form a golden yellow orb of light behind the solar plexus in the middle of the chest, body, the torso. The God name is Yehovah Elovadaah.
Yehovah Elovadaah.
Yehovah Elovadaah.
Yehovah Elovadaah.
Yehovah Elovadaah. Light of love, Tifreth. Bring the light energy down further in the body to form a purple orb of light in the groin area. Its God name is Shaddai El Chai. Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El Chai. Light of life.
Shaddai El Chai.
Bring the light energy down to the feet, where it forms a russet orb of light on our feet, connecting us with the earth. Light of form. Its name is Adonai Haaretz. Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz.
Bring the attention to the light atop the head, the white light. Imagine light energy on the exhale going down through the left side of the body to the feet. On the inhale, imagine light energy coming up through the right leg, through the right side of the body to the top of the head. Exhale light energy down the left. Inhale light energy up the right. On exhale, bring the light energy down over the head, over the face, over the front of the body, and inhale the light energy up along the back of the body to the top of the head. On an inhale, imagine the light energy accumulating at the feet chakra. And on the exhale, release the light energy up through the body, through the top of the head. Let it fountain down around again, around and through the body, to be collected at the feet on the inhale, and released through the top of the head on the exhale. You can go to your private spot, your place of meditation, of imagining the shelter in tree roots, or another place in nature. But there will be a gate or a door. And imagine the the Empress, Venus, the door, Daleth. Te Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leolam. I thank the guardians of the quarters and the energies and intelligences drawn and called to the ceremony and meditation. Go if you must, stay if you will. Blessed be.
Well, now.
Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Michael, thank you. Temple be closed.
You have to get something before you close off the...
Now what's going on with these guys here? So we're going to turn this off now and start again for our discussion.